Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you two. A year later, do you feel like you're
Next question.
One of Angel Reese's finest moments, I must say.
Angel Reese actually backtracking a question from a reporter.
Is your star? This is who the media claims is elevating the WNBA. This is who the media has spent the last year wasting time trying to convince us that Angel Reese is responsible for elevating the dump.
It just happened. A WNBA reporter asked Angel Reese a simple question, and she froze. No answer. Just a cold, defeated next question.
It was her statement, her current feelings on said statement. She pulled a next question. She ducked that.
In that moment, everything she claimed, it's not just Caitlyn Clark, it's because of me too, came crashing down.
She said it loud and proud and with plenty of attitude. And now when somebody asks her to expand, update her current feelings on her own comment, we get a next question? No. Okay. I mean, that's fine.
The reporter wasn't attacking her. He was quoting her own words, and still, she had nothing to say. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark continues to pack arenas, break records, and prove she's the real face of the WNBA. This isn't a rivalry anymore. This is a takeover. And Angel, she's cracking under the pressure.
It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Angel Reese last year saying, of course, everybody's watching for her. It's not just one person, it's for her too.
It was supposed to be a routine press conference, but the moment a reporter brought up Angel Reese's now infamous quote, "The reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, it's because of me too," the air shifted. Instead of standing behind her bold statement, Angel Reese completely shut down. Her response? Just 2 words. Next question.
Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you two.
I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person.
Later, do you feel like you're
Next question.
Her next question response shows that she hasn't grown up, doesn't take responsibility for anything she does.
Let that sink in. This wasn't a loaded question. It wasn't meant to trap her. It was a respectful request to reflect on her own words. Words she proudly shouted just 1 year ago. But now, Angel wanted no part of it, and the look on her face said it all. The smirk was gone. The confidence shattered. She looked uncomfortable, defensive, even close to tears. And for the first time, it was clear.
Look at her face. This is a face of defeat. Angel realized she don't have Teresa Witherspoon to help keep her relevant anymore. She's gone. Angel Reese will be a stretch 4.
Angel Reese couldn't handle the heat of her own hype, and the internet noticed, fast. Commentators were quick to point out how defeated she looked. One called it the face of someone who realized the spotlight has moved on. Others said she appeared embarrassed, cornered, and completely exposed. And they were right.
The clip heard around the world. The clip that will be following Angel Reese for the rest of her career. As long as her games don't sell out, as long as her games don't attract a good number of celebrities, as long as her games don't have any type of viewership motion, for lack of better terms, as long as all those 3 facts remain the same, this clip is going to follow her forever. Roll clip.
Because when you spend a year telling the world you're the reason the sport is growing, you better be ready to back that up when asked. Angel wasn't. Meanwhile, let's look at how Caitlyn Clark handles the pressure. When reporters ask her tough questions, she answers them. Directly, honestly, and with composure. She doesn't duck. She doesn't deflect. She leads. That's why fans love her. That's why sponsors line up. And that's why when Angel Reese was asked to reflect on her role in growing the game, And Caitlyn Clark didn't even need to be mentioned. The silence said everything. This wasn't just a PR fumble. This was a moment of truth, and Angel Reese folded.
They only know that other girl because of me, too. They only go to her games instead of my games because of me, too. They only watch all of her games instead of watching all of my games because of me, too. She's the #1 jersey seller in the WNBA. Why? Because of me, too.
Let's drop the opinions and emotions for a moment and talk facts. Cold, hard data. Because if Angel Reese really believes she's the reason people are watching women's basketball, then the numbers should back that up. But guess what? They don't. Not even close. Start with the basics. Viewership. Caitlyn Clark's very first preseason WNBA game, not regular season preseason, drew 1.3 million viewers. That's historic.
Caitlyn Clark is popping. She's popping so hard, she didn't even have to play in Unrivaled. She garnered 1.3 million views in a preseason game. The Chicago Sky game against the Brazilian national team drew an average of 300,000 views.
No other WNBA player, past or present, has pulled those kinds of numbers in a debut. And what about Angel Reese? Her game against the Brazilian national team averaged just 300,000 viewers, a number that didn't even make headlines. That's not star power, that's silence. And it gets worse for Reese. Look at ticket sales. Vivid Seats released its WNBA loyalty report.
The loyalty report. This is a report based on ticket sales, ticket prices. The WNBA All-Star Game tops the list with the average ticket selling for $533.
Ranking the top 5 games this season by average ticket price, 4 out of 5 involved Caitlyn Clark and the Indiana Fever. Reese? Nowhere on the list. Even her immaculate homecoming to LSU struggled to move tickets. She couldn't even give them away for free. Meanwhile, Clark's presence turns every arena into a sellout, a circus, and a celebrity magnet. In fact, let's talk sellouts. Caitlyn Clark's games, whether home or away, are packing arenas from Iowa to Connecticut. Sabrina Ionescu just sold out a home game in Eugene.
What about Me Too? Me Too, right? Now, what about Sabrina Ionescu? Sabrina Ionescu sold out. The sellout crowd, 12,360, doubled Angels. She's not relevant.
And she's not even in the same headline conversation anymore. Angel Reese's games, half-empty arenas, one preseason game in Baton Rouge, a city that adores her, barely drew 6,300 fans in a venue that holds over 13,000. That's less than half the building. Where's the hype? Where are the fans? Where's the proof she's the reason people are watching?
Angel Reese, she never garnered national fan base because people were starting to see the true colors with this whole Caitlyn Clark debate that if it wasn't for Me Too.
And what about jersey sales? Social media might show Angel Reese with more followers than Caitlyn Clark, but those numbers mean nothing if they don't translate into real support. Reese's millions of followers don't buy tickets. They don't show up in the stands. They don't boost viewership. Most of them are following for her photos, not her play. Meanwhile, Clark's jersey is the #1 seller in the league. Her games dominate ratings, and the energy she brings is electric. Here's the brutal truth. Angel Reese is a social media influencer who happens to play basketball. Caitlyn Clark is a basketball icon who just happens to dominate social media. One is real, one is performative. One moves the needle, the other tries to tweet about it. And while the media tried to push the Me Too narrative for months, the fans made the final decision. Every empty seat in Angel Reese's arena is proof that you can't manufacture stardom.
She talked about sold-out arenas. What arenas are selling out that Caitlyn Clark isn't playing in? I need to know. That's just in. What about viewership? Tell me everybody who's getting consistently over 1 million views on their basketball games, not named Caitlyn Clark.
You can't fake influence. You can't pretend to be the reason people watch when they clearly don't. The data doesn't lie. Caitlyn Clark is the WNBA right now. Angel Reese is just in the background, watching it happen. One next question at a time. Angel Reese once told the world she'd gladly be the villain. She embraced it, owned it, repeated it over and over, on podcasts and interviews and across social media. I'll take that role. I'll be the bad guy. In 20 years, y'all will look back and say the reason you're watching women's basketball is because of Me Too.
Angel Reese voluntarily went on a quote, they're watching for Me Too because she wanted that attention. She created the drama.
Those were her exact words. But here's what Angel never realized. Being the villain only works when you win, when you dominate, when you can walk into any arena and shut the critics up with your play. But Angel Reese hasn't done that. Not in college, not in the pros, and certainly not in the WNBA. And now, that entire villain strategy is falling apart.
A statement that has come back to bite her in the ass because, let's be real, from a viewership and watching point of view, Angel is not in the top 4 to 5 biggest draws in this sport.
Publicly, painfully, and fast. Because villains don't cry when questioned, and villains don't run from their own quotes. The truth is, Angel built her brand on being defiant, pointing fingers, calling out critics, and feeding the media headlines. But the moment the spotlight shifted and the questions came back full circle, she froze. A simple softball question about her past statement turned her into a deer in headlights. This wasn't bravery. This wasn't boldness. It was retreat. It was collapse. And it revealed what a lot of people have suspected for a long time.
The mainstream media has tried to convince us that Angel Reese is responsible for growing pretend basketball. Remember last month when Forbes claimed that Angel Reese was the most popular player in the dump? Angel Reese has millions of followers on social media. She has more followers than Paige Buckner and Caitlyn Clark combined. This is further proof that Angel Reese is a huge star.
Angel Reese was never ready for the pressure she created. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark has taken the complete opposite route, and it's working brilliantly. She never claimed to be the reason the sport is growing. She never demanded credit. She didn't manufacture controversy. She just let her game do the talking. And her game, it's historic. She's breaking records every time she steps on the court. She's selling out arenas in cities she's never even played in. She's drawing praise from legends like Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, and even NBA stars. She's loved by kids, parents, men, women, across races, across states, across the board. That's not manufactured. That's real.
Everything that was surrounding Angel Reese was manufactured. It wasn't a natural occurrence like it was with Caitlyn. Caitlyn shooting logo threes natural. Caitlyn garnered the most diverse fan base out of any player in the league. She has the most diverse fan base. I'm going to keep saying that because it is the truth.
While Angel Reese continues to make it about race, about roles, about being misunderstood, Caitlyn Clark makes it about results. When Kennedy Carter cheap-shotted her, Caitlyn didn't run to social media. She didn't cry foul. She stood up, shook it off, and dropped buckets. When players try to rough her up, she responds with logo threes and game-changing assists. That's what greatness looks like. That's what leadership looks like. And here's the irony. Angel Reese keeps talking about how she made Caitlyn Clark famous. But the more she talks, the more people are turning away, and the more they're turning toward Caitlyn. Angel said, "What about Me Too?"
Every single person can agree. Angel Reese listened to the Outside Noise last year. From the double-double talk to the people are watching for Me Too, it's clear.
But the world responded with, "We're good." Even her own supporters are starting to jump ship. Some of the loudest voices defending her last year are now calling her out for ducking accountability. One YouTuber even said, "She's a social media influencer pretending to be a basketball star, and the pretending is over."
Within the season, decrease in viewership, attendance, everything surrounding Angel Reese's brand. She is an influencer, not a basketball player.
Social media impressions do not equate to television ratings, and they damn sure don't translate to ticket sales. The media can continue framing this narrative that Angel Reese is driving the WNBA's growth, but once again, we have data that proves Angel Reese is not a draw.
Others have pointed out that without Teresa Weatherspoon designing plays around her, Angel has lost her rhythm, and worse, her relevance. Her double-doubles were orchestrated. Her dominance was exaggerated. And now without that system, she's being exposed on the court. And the timing couldn't be worse, because Caitlyn Clark is only getting better. Her chemistry with the Indiana Fever is building. Her confidence is unshakable. And the media isn't turning on her. They're celebrating her. Even fans who once rooted against her are starting to respect her because she stays focused, humble, and consistent. So here's where things stand. The media tried to create a rivalry.
Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark was the biggest rivalry in the WNBA. Vivid Seats listed the top 5 mainstream draws in the WNBA. Obviously, Caitlyn Clark, number 1.
They wanted drama. They wanted tension. But it turns out Caitlyn Clark was never part of the drama. Only Angel Reese was. Caitlyn kept rising, Angel kept ranting, and now one is headed for greatness. The other for irrelevance. Angel wanted to be the villain, but the villain lost the crowd. And Caitlyn Clark? She just kept winning, with grace. And just like that, the narrative Angel Reese tried to build has completely unraveled. She told us she was the reason people were watching.
Angel Reese is at serious risk of being overshadowed. Last week, she drew 4,000 fans to a preseason game in Chicago.
She told us she'd be remembered as the one who elevated women's basketball. But when the moment came to stand on those words, she crumbled. 1 question, 2 words, next question, and it was all over. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark didn't need to talk. She didn't need to beg for credit. She earned it. Every bucket, every sold-out arena, every million-plus viewer. While Angel dodges questions and posts filters, Caitlyn's out there rewriting WNBA history in real time. This isn't a rivalry anymore. This is a one-woman takeover. And the face of the WNBA, it's not someone crying behind a mic. It's Caitlyn Clark, standing tall, breaking records, and silencing every doubt with her game. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is Angel Reese finished? And has Caitlyn Clark already won this battle without saying a word? If you're riding with Caitlyn, smash that like button and subscribe, because this is just the beginning.
Angel Reese is never going to improve her basketball skills. Check this out.
I see you miss layups just like they do and everything, but forget them. You know, I mean, I miss layups too. So, I mean,
everybody miss layups, but they can't get mad if I get the rebound, box me out.
Yeah. Don't be mad because your fade didn't box her out. That's what I say. Period.
I see your miss layups like they do, but forget them. What the fuck do you mean forget them? This is why Angel Reese's game is never going to get better, y'all. Her mom telling her this and her fans are the same exact way. Zero accountability, bro. Imagine this, y'all. You playing basketball in front of the whole world. People have been constantly criticizing your game and you messing up on the court. There's all this film and everything about what you need to do better and what you're messing up on. And your mom is just sitting here telling you, well, forget them. Just forget them, bro. Like, that's terrible advice. Like we see why Angel Reese is the way that she is. Man, look at how her mom is just talking to her, telling her just forget them, bro. But then y'all are so mad that the world doesn't like her and talk so much shit about her, bro.
Right.
And then she's like, oh, everybody misses layups. I'm so tired of this everybody misses layups thing. Yes. A whole bunch of basketball players miss layups, but people are not missing layups like Angel Reese, bro.
Fact.
Statistically the worst finisher in the league. So that means you're last and at the bottom. So that means you're the worst and nobody is missing like you are. God, this is not rocket science. Angel Reese GPA holders, bro. This is not rocket science, man. This is amazing. Y'all just cannot keep it real with this girl, bro. That's why she looks like an unrivaled. That clip that just came out with her getting blocked by Breanna Stewart like 3 times or something, and then she finally made the shot, bro. That's why her game looks like it is not even improved at all, man. And then the whole, you gotta box me out to get the, bro, you should be making the shot, bro. Instead of sitting up here talking about, oh, people aren't boxing you out and all of this bullshit. Like, if you make the shot, bro, we wouldn't be even sitting up here talking about these whole rebounds and over and that bullshit, man. But it's crazy, bro. It's crazy I came across that clip. I just saw somebody post it today, and I'm like, damn, bro. No wonder this girl does not take accountability